Okay, so you're working with people and you're in a team, you're doing all these detailed things. First of all, where do you get the time to run for public office? And secondly, why would you want to do that?
Well, my wife would agree with you that attending all the meetings that I attend, even though I'm not an elected official yet, and I'm not just talking township trustee, I'm talking zoning appeals, the new community authority, which I'm a chair of, attending some fire board meetings, all the different things I've been involved with just locally to prepare myself for this role. I've just made time, and it is actually the hardest part about this is because my girls, I'm going to another meeting, and they kind of feel sad when I go, and I just feel driven right now, kind of like what I did when I played football. I just feel driven to get out and try to make a difference, and I know I can. So that's where I've made the time. I get a lot of things done when the kids go to sleep at 8:30 at night. So that's with my three youngest being 8, 5, and 4, they don't turn off until 8:29. So when they go to sleep at 8:30, that's when I get some time, and I get a lot of things done when it calms down around the house. But yes, I find time and make time, and I'm on the phone constantly, both for work and for this. So you're running for township trustee, and we talked about your grandfather had a lot of influence on you. Is there anybody else in a political life that had influence on that you look at and say, gee, I want to be like that? Well, I actually, the same grandfather, and this was this was back when my dad was in high school. My dad told me a story that is true, that my grandfather was essentially the father figure for a neighborhood kid right down the road, and he had messed up something with his schedule, and he wasn't going to have the necessary classes core to meet graduation. So my grandfather went down on his behalf and said, hey, what can we do to get this kid to graduate high school? And they kind of gave him a hard time. So he just wanted to do what he could do to get this now man to graduate high school. And they gave him such a hard time that he's like, you know what? And he actually ran for school board. And he got elected for school board. And he was motivated by the reception he got from our local school that he'd graduated from. That he went door to door nights after working 50 plus hours at Mead Paper in Chillicothe and farming on nights and weekends, because that's what he enjoyed doing. And he ran for school board. And he implemented a lot of policies and practices as far as reviewing purchase statements and understanding why things were being spent the way they were, and just asking questions to improve things. And through a lot of trials and tribulations and people that didn't want to change the status quo, he stayed firm. They actually redistricted the school while he was serving, and kind of maybe an attempt to get him out. And once they did, they had a new election, had to reelect all the board members, and he was the number one vote getter. So, that kind of determination and motivation is kind of sparked by, people get motivated for different things. And I think I'm motivated similarly by some of the things that are going on in Etna, and I just know I can make a positive difference. That's why I'm here today. So,
okay, maybe the final question, we've talked a lot, but how did you get to Etna?
Well, my wife blames me for a lot of things, but I'll blame my wife. So actually my first house when I moved to Columbus, I was over in Pickerington. Very nice house, ranch, small by comparison, but bigger than the house I grew up in. But once the opportunity came to get back into the dating world, I met my wife, who grew up in Etna Township. She spent most of her life here. Her mom taught at Kirkersville, and then the opportunity came with her family where we had a chance to move back here. So we actually moved back into the farmhouse that she grew up in before she was 10. She moved to, and I absolutely am very fortunate with the house and the property that we have, and I really want to do what I can to protect my home along with everyone else's home, and that's kind of how I ended up here. So,
okay. Last question then. What would you consider your major goal if you get elected as township trustee?
Well, I've got several goals. It's very hard for me to just say I have one major goal, but I think the major goal that I think is uniform over everyone I've talked to is to
bring down the temperature in Etna Township. There is so much negativity going on. There's some good ideas being floated around. There's so many things that are being talked about and not acted upon. I think it's going to be a hard, it's not even going to be a rebuild. It's going to be a tear down and start new as far as the culture and the attitude within Etna Township, in the leadership of Etna Township and the community. It's something that we need to work very hard on, and it's something I'm willing to do. But I think that's my number one goal, is to change the culture and the attitude so we can represent our residents with pride, and our residents can be proud to say they're from Etna Township instead of saying, oh, I'm from Pataskala, when they live in the heart of Etna Township. I think that's, people will say, ooh, Etna, or, oh, I've read all about it, I'm not even from there. I get those in conversation when I bring up what I'm doing and what I'm doing now and what I've done before. And it's just disheartening, because Etna's a really neat place, and it is sandwiched between some cities. But for Etna to keep its current makeup and not completely change over from what it used to be completely rural to turn it into completely urban, or do all these different changes that could happen if certain people get in the office or certain decisions are made. I just want to take a step-by-step holistic approach of everything that's going on, involve as many people as possible, and coordinate like I do for my job, to make sure that every step, because it's not about what I want on everything, it's about what everyone wants. And the more you can get more people involved, like myself, I went to one meeting because first meeting I went there because, oh, there's a lot of stuff on Facebook, there must be something going on. And here I am, 5-6 years later, running for office because I showed up to a meeting trying to understand what the concerns were in my township. So I hope it's motivating for others to possibly do this someday. But I think that it's very important that I will feel proud if I can turn around the culture and get everyone else proud to say they're from Etna Township.